And you are welcome. It's a Monday morning here in the city of Lagos and, of course, across the entire world. Welcome. This is Wake Up Nigeria for a week starter. That's what we've got curated for you. Welcome once again. So, how was your weekend? Was it grand? Was it okay? Was it like mine? Because I got out of bed at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and that is the life. So maybe I'll be telling you guys how you can get up to that. But it's fantastic. Stay ready for a fantastic show as we have curated for you guys today, and we'll be telling you exactly how you can interact with us. We've got some great segments coming your way, but let me just tell that we've got a fantastic chef in the kitchen today. Chef Mercy is in here. We'll be joining her in a bit. Mercy, say hi to everybody. Please do.
Hi.
There you go.
Good morning.
She'll be, well, telling us or giving us something fantastic, and of course, we'll be joined by everybody else. You have tuned in to the right place to start your week. My name, of course, is Mazino Appeal. You want to also remember how you can follow us. It is on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, all of them, everything, and we are at TVC Connect. It's that simple. And if you happen to be going anywhere already, what you should do is make sure that you've downloaded our app on your phones or your devices. You can do that. It's simple on iOS or on any other device like the Androids. Now, we're going to be telling you guys what we have coming for you today on the show. First off, starting off for Wake Up Nigeria Monday edition, will be some motivation coming your way. And of course, we'll be joined by Ezeogu Chukwemeka Kayode. We're giving us some very interesting facts that we need to know to push us ahead. And if you missed it, well, you missed out on a very interesting edition for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire only just yesterday. I think this is the 5th episode, and it's getting grander and bigger and better. The questions may be even tougher. Did you get any of the questions right? Maybe you did, but you didn't get the chance to win $1 million. Well, maybe we could help you out today inside of the highlights. And then coming up for SME today, our very last segment, we will be joined by Anita Ahiniyemi. She'll be joining us to tell us about her endeavors inside of her small little business. And we could take some sample from that. And you're welcome from Monday edition, joined here by Miss Alimi. Yay! Bashwa. All of them. And Mr. Keno. How you guys doing? How was your weekend?
Last Monday, yeah. Weekend, it's okay. No, not the last weekend per se. This is the last Monday.
Well, it is the last weekend. We're heading for the last
First
weekend.
of May is a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's a Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
So that means we still have a Friday and a Saturday in this month.
Yeah.
But it's a very long one.
Okay.
Someone actually sent a message to me and I realized it. So there's a very long weekend.
Okay.
It starts on Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
Then Saturday being weekend.
Okay.
Then Sunday being Workers' Day.
Okay.
Then Monday being Workers' Day holiday.
Yeah, Workers' Day.
Then Tuesday and Wednesday being the Islamic holiday. And so someone was like, people should go and withdraw money. Because it's going to be a very long weekend.
I think it's a fact.
It is.
And if this weekend is anything to look forward to for the next weekend, I'm not looking forward to that very long weekend. Because I was promised something very special and they failed me. The networks, the green ones, the red ones, all of you guys, the yellow ones.
I didn't have problem with my red ones.
Let me take what happened.
I use red,
there.
and I didn't have any problem.
I use a bountiful amount of data every single week, and I'm promised that during the weekend I'm going to be given 14 gigs. And it's exciting when you're given 14 gigs, you can do all your downloads and everything, and also I was excited. And come the weekend, 14 gigs, bam, all right, let's get to this.
No network. Out
of the 14 gigs, I'm sure I use like 500
maybe 200
megabytes, honestly, because you cannot use jack nothing, and then come Monday night, they take it all back. It's like giving you something with the right hand.
Monday night, so you still have...
Well, that's Monday morning, early Monday morning, so, you know. It's already gone. The networks were really terrible this weekend, is my point. And I don't know whether it's... All I could say is Nigeria is such a, what's it called, place. Every time something that small happens, you have to sort of like look at the mega picture and say, why is Nigeria like this? I was very sad, basically.
Yeah.
I was.
What about you?
It was maybe because of the rains. It was a wind, as in, it was a very windy weekend. I think on Saturday there was rain, Sunday there was rain, so maybe that could have affected networks. But for me, it was restful in some ways. Went out, did a few things and all that. Like I move around on weekends the most because, of course, that's when you have the freest roads. This is Lagos, man. So whenever I have to do any personal thing, much more, I'll normally put them to the weekends. Weekdays, I don't want to look me and traffic.
Not the traffic, yeah, no.
Well, for me, weekends, you know how it is. I had to work. On Saturday morning, 102.3 Max FM. Sunday evening again, 102.3 Max FM. Yes, please listen to me on radio. I'm on radio Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., 102.3 Max FM Lagos, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 102.3 Max FM Lagos. It's the Mary Alimi Show.
Okay.
So I hope you listen. Now, besides that, I also managed to hang out with my sister and a friend of hers, and it was very interesting. I actually had a good time.
Nice.
Shout out to Ashley Manuel. I had a very good time. I was surprised.
Same guy I know?
And food. You know too many people I know, and it's beginning to get on my nerves.
I don't know, our circles are just too close together. I'll tell you guys what, let's welcome you once again for a Monday edition. And now, let's do the weather.
It's a lovely Monday morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the news on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Kelly. Hey, Giga, let's tell you that President Muhammadu Buhari has called for the arrest of sponsors of the illegal refinery which led to the death of over 100 persons at Abazie Forest in Igbema area on Friday night. Describing the incident as a catastrophe and a national disaster, President Buhari directed the nation's security and intelligence agencies to intensify the clampdown on illegal refineries, and those involved in the act must be made to face justice. According to a statement issued on Sunday by the presidential spokesperson, Garba Shehu, the president said the responsibility for the loss of lives and property lies squarely on the sponsors of the illegal refinery. He commiserated with families of the victims and the Ohaje Egbema community and the government and people of Imo State. The president also urged community leaders, the police and the Secret Service to never allow the recurrence of such heartbreaking incidents in any part of the country. And away from that story in Imo State, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Protest Serap has sued President Muhammadu Buhari over failure to order the unblocking of millions of telecommunication subscribers barred from making calls on their SIMs. This is coming 2 weeks after the group issued a 48-hour deadline to the federal government to unblock millions of unregistered lines that have been barred from making calls here in the country. The suit Serap sought an order to set aside the directive by Mr. President to telecommunications companies to block outgoing calls on all unlinked lines without due process of law. Serap also joined the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, and his communications and digital economy counterpart, Dr. Issa Pantami, as respondents in the suit. Let's take you outside Nigeria. French President Emmanuel Macron has defeated his far-right rival Marine Le Pen by a comfortable margin in Sunday's runoff election, securing a second term. According to estimates from the Ipsos Polling Institute, 44-year-old Emmanuel Macron won 58.8% of the vote in the second round of the presidential elections, against 41.2% for Le Pen. The election that saw the country's highest abstention rate in 50 years has now prompted a wave of relief in Europe that the far right has been prevented from taking power. Mr. Macron now becomes the 8th French incumbent to win a second term. And that does it for us here on the news at this time. Thank you so much for your company. I'll be back on the other side of 8 with more stories. I am Kelly Egiga. We urge you to stick around here for the rest of Wake Up Nigeria. Good morning.
All right, let's check out the newspaper headlines this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. And we begin with the Guardian newspaper. Now, the Guardian newspaper has this, how inflation, Naira freefall, jack up 2023 election budgets by 115 billion Naira. Okay, so that means it's going to cost a whole lot more. Now, World Malaria Day, Nigeria records 200,000 deaths, loses 646 billion Naira yearly to malaria. That's the major headline. Nigeria, DR Congo, Tanzania, Mozambique account for over half of all malaria deaths worldwide. The country received 176 billion worth of aids from development partners to fight malaria, and that's coming from Adeyanju. No single tool available today will solve the problem of malaria, say WHO experts. Why it is likely current vaccines would eliminate malaria, and that's by Adegboro and, of course, Ashiru. Here we also see an editorial, The Presidential Aspirants Nigeria Needs. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Guardian newspaper this morning. Now, from the Guardian newspaper, we take a look at the Nation newspaper. Now, the Nation newspaper has this, the major headline, North elders split over PDP consensus candidates. NEF's Nongo Ahmed differ. Also here we have NDLEA seizes cocaine hidden in tea bags at Lagos Abuja airports. Up here, we see Alaafin's unfulfilled plans, aborted visits to Oni's palace, chieftaincy title for Gbajabiamila, and of course, gift of furnished houses to wives. Here we also have AFDB warns of looming food crisis. And finally, on the front page of the Nation newspaper, INEC raises security red flag. Now, all of these stories and more you can catch in the Nation newspaper this morning. Now, from the Nation newspaper, we move straight to Daily Sun. Daily Sun has this. Consensus, Bala Muhammad replies Tambuwal others, says Dole agreed to accept outcome of exercise. They, Saraki and I, collectively approached IBB to conduct exercise, reveals Bauchi governor. I'm ready for PDP primary, and that's coming from Saraki. Here we have take women as running mates. Aisha Buhari urges presidential aspirants. Imo explosion death. Buhari orders clampdown on illegal refineries. Okorocha calls for panel of inquiry. Down here, we also see Enugu senatorial election. Utazi declines to contest against Governor Ugwanyi. Now, all of these stories and more you can catch in the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. And from there, we head straight to Daily Trust. Daily Trust has this as the major headline. Despite 4 trillion naira investment, hope dims for Ajaokuta steel takeoff. Nigeria's low-grade iron ore, a setback. That's coming from the ex-Director General, Mining Cadastral Office. Depends on Guinea for raw material. Project 98% completed. Imo plans mass burial for victims of illegal refinery tragedy today. And finally, Abuja villagers flee as bandits kill 1, steal motorcycles. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And that's it for the newspaper headlines. That's as much as we can take this morning. Right now, though, let's check out what Sweetness has for us. Okay.
Yep.
Welcome.
Monday morning.
Monday morning here, of course, and it's time for What's Up and About in it.
Yeah, a lot happened over the weekend, of course.
Yes.
But, yeah, I think it was Sam Clef.
Yes,
Sam Clef,
indeed.
Whiskey, and Banky W were in the news. I think it started from at the interview, the Banky.
Let's start from the interview.
Yes, let's start from the
interview.
I don't think he had to say some things he said because he made mention, remember he made mention about how he felt about Whiskey not attending his wedding. And that's where it all started. And then Whiskey replies with just a lol.
LOL.
And then after that, it moves on from there to there. And then Sam Clef goes, oh, why wouldn't Whiskey respond with a lol when Banky ripped Whiskey off? And then it goes up and all of that. And then he comes up with some receipt about producing, which he did, Whiskey's album, and then him not being given credit and royalties, and the ensuing royalties for it. He dropped a pay slip or some slip from Sonny, which...
His name wasn't on it.
His name wasn't on it.
And then Banky replies and says his own name is not on it.
So there's a lot about it we don't know, but then something that we do know is that is not the best receipt for him to release because that receipt doesn't even have Banky in it. So something happened. The rights of the song were given to Sonny. That is what that receipt will tell you.
By
whom is the
Banky, of
question?
course, it will be sold by EME.
So
but you know, another person got dragged into the old melee last night. I wonder if you guys caught it. No, Simi.
Oh, no, we didn't get that one. Do tell us.
Okay, so the Simi angle was that he produced Simi's first album, Ogaju. That was a gospel album way before she started doing regular secular music and all. And she would go for shows, according to him, without telling him. Meanwhile, he was the one doing the legwork, going to Alaba to market her songs and everything. But then she wasn't carrying him along when it was time for shows. And people were like, he could probably simply have told her that, oi, I'm doing so much for you. When there's a show, inform me. At least small percentage supposed to enter my hand and all. Then even the Whiskey angle, he said he used to produce a song for 100,000. So he produced 6 songs. And instead of being paid, was it 600 or something? Was she paid lesser? The whole matter was just wonky. It was kind of messy.
So I think everybody's got a bit of, what do you call it, responsibility here. First off, we're still not clear who sold what to Sonny. At the time it was being sold, whether there was credit or even amounts given to Sam Clef, we're still not sure. If his grouse is the fact that
nothing was given to
nothing
him.
was given to him,
Yeah,
for the
that was
Sock Pack
simply
rumor.
paid for production.
It was paid, yeah, but you were paid at the end of the day. But however, if your name is not on the list as well as Banky's name, then what gives?
You know,
I'm not done. Then I'm going to go back to the genesis of this whole thing. I'm talking about the interview with Ibuka and Banky W. Now, I didn't see any reason why there should have been any, or why there should be any grievance regarding Wizkid's absence from your wedding. I mean,
it's obviously something that hurts him for him to have mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously.
He probably expected, guy, you were with me before. You should have come for my wedding. It's the least you could do. But then to Wizkid, it was LOL.
Yeah, to me, it just seems like as if, yeah, I don't know, it was just irrelevant, if you ask me. We didn't need to know all of that. I know, I understand.
But it meant a lot to him.
The world, however, didn't need to.
He's campaigning.
Yeah, you can
so
feel how you want to feel.
Campaigning
for what? For who? What? You know, politics or music? I don't get it anymore.
Now.
Politics. So,
yeah, so he's talking about his life.
Where does that come in here?
No, the life and times of Banky Wellington. It's not
very
easy.
important. Oh my
very,
God.
Very important.
We need to know this.
That's what they say about Manifesto.
This reminds me of Red Table. That's the idea. That's the vibe I got. Yeah. Where we get to the point where we have to say something to get into news and all of that.
Yes.
I mean, at the end of it all,
whether bad publicity is publicity.
I guess you could say so.
I mean, at the end, Will Smith has movies cancelled and all of that. But hey, I digress. The point now is contractual situations. We can make an informed decision if we or when we do see the contract, because maybe it will probably come out with the way if it goes like this in the matter, then we'll see the contract. But then there's something back. He said that Wizkid signed a contract for 5 albums, which is normal, because I know that when record labels sign,
that's what they do.
Mostly.
I've seen 10 years of 5 albums.
Yeah, I've seen that 5. But Wizkid dropped 2.
Yeah.
And so he says, we let him go.
Yeah.
Which on his own
I was going to admit that
justified.
level of grace.
It's graceful,
by him.
I mean,
it's like, you know, hey, it's okay. You're getting bigger than I can even handle in any case, so you can go. And since then, we've not heard anything about, hey, come back and give us your, or whoever you're under now has to pay us.
Has to pay us off for that part of
which, if you ask me, should have been the main crux of the matter. If you're going to talk anything about Wizkid now, politely, hey, I know you're signed under so-and-so or whatever on your own, but don't you think that for good, you know, convivial nature between the two of us and whoever you work with currently, let's have this contract bit settled where you still owe me so-and-so, whether it's monetarily or whether it's by the virtue of some features or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way I
not about the wedding and all of that. That's
the
just
music
irrelevant
industry.
to me.
So being on radio has actually exposed me to a lot of things. So many people get fleeced in the music industry. Be it the
managers
the
or the
manager,
artists.
the artist, and most times it's the managers that suffer the most.
True.
Not even the record label. Because the managers do all the dirty work and they are not appreciated or recognized. Only few of them are recognized. Now, for the artists, they sign their death warrants, literally. And that's why you find incidents like Kiss Daniel, and you find certain incidents like that, and you're like, oh, this person is ungrateful. But the reality is what you're made to sign when you're desperate is crazy. And then this also brings us to the Blackface incident. People were making fun of Blackface. What's your own? Why do you want credit? Okay, you wrote African Queen, we've heard. But having that credit goes a long way for someone who is looking for who wrote this song so they can contract you to write something for them. So that was why Blackface was also trending, because this kind of like justifies what happened with him as well.
Yeah. It's unfortunate we can't really go in depth and talk about all of it that we really want to share. But in any case, do let us know what you think. Send in your comments. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We'll be ready to read them and maybe even respond back. We'll be back.
Hey, what better time of the day than breakfast? You know how we keep being told that breakfast is very important for you to stay fit? Wow, we're excited to prepare breakfast today, and it's such a pleasure as always to have this delectable lady right here with me in the studio. How are you doing today? Fantastic. So what are we having for breakfast? You were having? Pollet Digi. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of? Okay, you know what? Let's take this quick break, okay? We'll be back to talk more about the ingredients, and we'll tell you more about what we're making this morning. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Yes, so as we were talking earlier, Chef Debbie Scott is still making breakfast. And she said today is Pollet Digi, right?
DG.
DG. Is it D as in letter D and letter G?
Yes.
What does DG stand for?
It stands for Director General. It's not a Nigerian dish, actually.
Ah.
It's a Cameroonian dish.
Oh, that means it's poulet. That's chicken, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so poulet DG, that's what we're having this morning. Cameroonian poulet DG, the Director General of all chicken. The ingredients are currently on your screen. We'll run you through them. Let's talk about them.
Okay, yeah, we have the bell peppers, the green, yellow, and the red.
Okay.
We have the white onions, garlic, carrots, chili pepper.
You've done something to this?
No.
Okay.
I only peeled the yolk. Then we have tomatoes, the scotch bonnet, chicken, then the plantain. Then we have curry and thyme here.
Okay, curry and thyme.
Yes.
That's just what is here?
Yes, that's what here. Then I have my seasonings.
Cubes.
Then this oregano, this paprika.
Oregano, paprika.
Yeah.
Now, there's something that was trending earlier in the week. I actually saw a post about Scotch bonnet, where the person said, Scotch bonnet is not the Scotch bonnet that we call it, that the real Scotch bonnet and habanero are actually very, very hot.
Okay, yeah. I know that it doesn't have this color. It has a lighter color, like orange color. Yes.
You said it's very peppery. Have you ever used that before?
Yes, I have.
What happened? You prepared a nice dish for your clients, thinking you had pepper, and then the client said, Debbie Scott, you want to kill me?
No, I already know it's peppery, so I use a few instead of using
a whole lot, right? Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to make this dish. So what's the first thing we're doing?
Okay, I'm going to, cut the tomatoes first, then I'll boil the chicken, fry the chicken, fry the plantain.
So boil then fry?
Yes.
Okay.
Then fry the plantain.
Okay.
Then before the stir fry with the vegetables.
Okay.
And all that.
Okay, it does seem to be a very easy...
Yeah, it's very easy.
Yeah, very easy process. However, I'm just curious, what are you going to use to season it? I would have thought you would marinate it already.
No, I don't want to marinate.
You don't want to?
No,
Is there a particular reason? It will remove the DG from the poulet.
No. You can decide to marinate before cooking, or you can decide not to.
Okay.
Depends on you.
Okay, and it will definitely have the taste,
yes,
right?
Of course.
So what are you going to be putting in it to season it? Because we might have done all of that before we come back.
Yeah, I'm using the curry and thyme, the paprika, the seasoning, that's all.
Okay. All right, so if you want to stay fit, you need to have breakfast. At least that's what we're told. And one thing about breakfast is it motivates you to have a very good day, which is why Mazino is on standby to give us words of motivation, which he likes to give anyway.
I wish I was the one responsible for all that motivational speak, Mary, but I am not. But in any case, you had to go through all that work just to say that we're having motivation next? Come on, Mary. Radio people. In any case, today we are talking overcoming imposter syndrome with Ezeogu Chukwemeka Kayode, head of academy and coaching service at Olusola Lanre Academy. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure having you here, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here again.
So I asked you this before we started, but for the benefit of everybody who's viewing, what exactly is imposter syndrome? Yeah,
it's that feeling. Most professionals have them. When you feel inadequate, when you feel like you're not good enough to do what you're doing, and you're always expecting that at some point you'll be caught as a fraud, the rug will pull up from under you, and people will discover that, yeah, this person don't quite know what he or she's doing.
Wow.
So you live in that constant fear of being caught.
Yeah, but doesn't that happen to everybody? I mean, even if no matter how confident or professional you are, you do still seem, and maybe I'm saying this from experience personally, because I do believe now, after you've explained that at one point or the other, maybe in this career or the others, I have thought myself as, am I doing this thing the right way? What exactly is responsible?
So in a way, it happens. For some people, it's extreme. In fact, they don't ever get to start. They don't ever get to believe in themselves. It's almost like they're coasting, right? And so they're not 100% committed. They doubt their performance, doubt their capabilities. All right. When it comes to this syndrome, there are two kinds of people. Well, not extremely, but yeah, there are two kinds. There are the perfectionists, right? Perfectionists come into this with the fact that they have this notion that, look, if I can't do it perfectly, then I can't do it at all. Right. So
I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
Exactly. So imposters that come from that sect are quite terrible. Theirs is that they don't ever get to start.
Wow.
And every time they start, they're looking at everybody else, and then sub-performing, underperforming, just comparing themselves with everybody else that's playing differently.
Which is very strange, because it's not because you're not good enough. It is actually because you perhaps are even very good at it and cannot afford failure.
In fact.
So you don't even want to dent your image or try at all, so you're not going to get started.
Sometimes that perfectionist streak is in itself a killer, because it's not completely right. Perfection is not possible.
Yeah.
Perfection is not, it's a trap. Yeah. And no one ever beats it. Yeah. And if you keep carrying that notion, you will not be able to make the level of progress. I said there are two kinds.
Yeah.
There is
the other one?
Those ones have low sense of self-worth. So these ones are worse. They could have all the qualification in life. They could have everything required to do that and still not trust themselves, because they have a sense of self, right, that is inadequate, that it's deep in them, their concept, their self-concept there, that they keep revealing is that person that is not good enough, that person that is not enough, and it colors their output.
What's responsible for that low self-esteem?
Yeah. So again, it's the self-talk, the self-language and perception. For example, let's take the person who says, I need to be perfect to do this and don't ever get to start. The very fact that the person misses is that all you need to start is basic qualification. Everybody starts with basic. And once you have that basic, you're qualified. Right? So when an imposter syndrome begins to spring up, and you check and you're like, yeah, I have what it takes to start, then I can move to the next level in this dialogue, because it's all self-talk.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome is all self-talk. The next level is, okay, can I continually get better? Can I incrementally get better?
Can I give myself a chance?
Exactly. Now, once I can tell myself that and I accept it, and I accept the fact that, look, there is no one person that is a master in any particular field, that he holds the entire body of knowledge in that field. Professors get checked by small boys who are just coming up, who discover one or two things that expounds their entire industry. Heck, even Google would still, Google leverages everybody's intelligence, so to speak, but you still search for things, and Google will ask you, do you mean? So it's Google telling you, I don't have this, but look, I have that. Can you check that? So if a system that leverages people's intelligence can't even completely own knowledge, nobody can. So you come into an industry, come into a field, come into a place with basic knowledge, and then you tell yourself, I'm going to continue to grow. And then every time my ignorance is revealed, I would get the knowledge that ignorance has exposed. Because we have a negative relationship with the word ignorance. We think it's bad, but ignorance means you don't know.
Yeah.
And yes, you cannot always know. So ignorance is not a bad word. Every time your ignorance is revealed, knowledge, your chance to get knowledge is
opening the door for more to be learned.
So instead of carrying an imposter syndrome because you feel I don't know, you tell yourself, every time I stumble on something I don't know in this field, in this industry, I'm going to learn that thing.
Oh, very interesting. But does one's environment have any factor, play any factor in people having this imposter syndrome? For instance, how you grew up, could that be a factor? Or maybe something traumatic that's happened to you?
Yeah, one, environment really impacts that. If you live in a very
sheltered?
Not sheltered, really. If you grew up in a place where you're always compared with people, right? Where, especially when you have siblings that some are supposedly
that brings
smarter.
To the fore the responsibilities of parents now.
Yeah, and they keep comparing you with this guy or some family friends' kids. Exactly. Right. And then you keep measuring your performance, your expertise, or your intelligence by other people's yardstick. And the truth is, every time you do that, you always fall short.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for parents, noticing that this could also be the path they're building for their children?
The best thing a parent can do for a child is help them grow by themselves.
By themselves?
Yeah. Help
at their own pace,
At their own pace. Once you understand how your child is growing, shut everything else away from him. I mean, every other external comparison away from him. Help him grow in that place. Trust him. And when it comes to not having imposter syndrome, the level of confidence people had put in you, your primary caregivers had put in you, goes a long way. They teach you to trust what you have, trust your thought. The average Nigerian student is taught to own his teacher's thought. So you go to some schools, and even at the university level, some lecturers will tell you that, look, give me exactly what I gave to you. So I'm not teaching you to think. The best kind of parenting now is the one that teaches a child to think.
Explore.
Yeah, trust their thoughts. And then, yeah, right, explore. And in that way, they build a lot of confidence in themselves. They trust their process. They understand, look, I might not know a lot of things, but I'm going to keep learning, keep developing, keep getting better. And if I can always do this, then there is no industry I can stay in. Okay. There's no industry I can rise to the very top at. And even when I get to the very top, I'll still keep learning.
Okay. So two things. First off, real quick. So I've just listened to you today, and I've just realized that I perhaps have imposter syndrome. What's the one very simplest thing that I should do now that I've noted?
The simplest thing is every time it comes up, remind yourself, I'm a learning.
I'm a learner, huh?
I'm a learner. Even if I feel like I'm a professional here, there's still a lot to learn. And every time I get a chance to learn, instead of me telling myself I don't know, I'll tell myself I will learn.
Embrace it, basically.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, man. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Your motivation is always hits the spot. Let me put that. And it's well placed for a Monday, so you guys can actually start your weeks with that motivation. And hopefully it's going to help you in your endeavors throughout the week and maybe even throughout your life. Thank you once again, and thank you for viewing. Do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way inside of Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mazino Appeal.
We're still cooking. Yes, breakfast is getting ready. Not yet served. And of course, Chef Debbie Scott is still in charge this morning, while I simply look on and pretend to be a sous chef. Okay, so this morning, breakfast is Cameroonian poulet DG, right?
Yes.
Okay, so so far so good. Run us through what we've done and what we're going to do now.
The chicken's on fire.
Yeah, that's the chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the plantain.
Okay.
I'm trying to fry the plantain.
Again, what did we do with the chicken?
I added oregano.
Okay.
The seasoning, then curry and thyme.
Okay. So oregano, the curry, thyme. Did you add the paprika?
No, I didn't. No.
You did not?
No.
Okay, so the paprika doesn't go into that yet?
No.
Okay, as well as seasoning as well. So, yeah, the chicken is steaming nicely, and the plantain will soon be ready as well. So, is this a one-pot dish?
The one-pot dish.
Kind of like giz dodo?
Yes.
Okay, so this is chicken dodo. So for those of you who are like, how will I go to, how will I go to a French restaurant and say, please, I want to eat Cameroonian poulet DG. You just said, I want to eat Cameroonian. You know that thing they used to have chicken and dodo together, like chicken dodo? We should call it chick dodo.
No, you already have it.
But that's really cool. On your screen right now, we have the ingredients for this morning's breakfast. Cameroonian poulet DG. So there you go, in case you missed anything earlier. And for the bell peppers, we are using all three of them. That's the green, the yellow, and the red. Are there more?
Yes, there's
what
orange.
Colors? There's orange. Okay, yes, I know of orange. What are the colors?
I don't know.
Okay, so we'll just stick to the fact that there's green, there's yellow, there should be blue. That would be really cool. How would you like to eat blue or purple in your food?
Except you want to color it.
You want to color it?
I don't think there's blue.
All these biologically modified foods. We just want to eat and eat healthy. Organic stuff that we make in Nigeria is enough for us. Well, mostly, because these days I hear fertilizers. Okay, well, we will definitely... yeah, so just as you said, it's going to look like the regular chicken.
Yeah, this yes.
Okay, so tell us, are we going to put everything together?
We're putting everything together.
Okay. Okay.
We're going to put everything together.
Okay, so making this into a stir fry, then we'll now put everything together.
Yes.
Okay, so if you know how giz dodo looks, especially when you add vegetables in it, basically that's what it's going to look like, okay? All right, so from there we join Mike. Mike, really, did you give Arsenal a chance against Manchester United? Talk true. Did you?
Definitely, Manchester United is on the decline. And Arsenal look like they are a bit more consistent. So, yes, in that particular match, I definitely gave Arsenal a chance against the Red Devils of Manchester United.
But you know something that shocked me? I figured, okay, yes, Liverpool wants to stay on top, but Everton is already kissing relegation. I would have thought they would fight harder yesterday. Were you expecting them to lose?
They did as much as they can, but you see, Water always find a level what you know if you do, if you like, you drink anything you want to drink, you don't go if you drop. But that's what happened. That was the case of the Merseyside derby, like you mentioned. Thank you very much, Mary. Of course, quite a lot happened over the weekend in the sporting world, but I would love to start from boxing. It was the heavyweight title defense for Fury. Of course, Tyson Fury up against Dillian Whyte. Now, that was a big one. Saturday night at the Wembley Arena. It had over 90,000 people come see that match. And, of course, for me, I think Fury was being gracious to Dillian Whyte to stretch that to round 6. It was a knockout, a TKO in round 6, Dillian Whyte. But yeah, Dillian Whyte was just there. Fury could have taken him out earlier. I felt like Fury just wanted to, make everybody just enjoy, their time. It was I mean, come on, man. This was not a fight. But hey, come on, let's talk about this and other things that happened. The number to call in 0812-705-3687. Yep, once again, 0812-705-3687. It was a unanimous technical knockout decision for Tyson Fury, and he retains his heavyweight. Now, something after that match, he came up on in the ring with Francis Ngannou, who is the heavyweight UFC champion, and said that they verbally agree to fight, and that would be based on boxing rules. So that's something that would would interest a lot. Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury, based on boxing rules. I would love to see, whenever we see boxing and UFC crossovers, I would love to see them try UFC rules, because a lot of the time they go for boxing rules, but UFC, you know how dangerous that sport can be. That might not be a good one for the boxers. Let's move over to the EPL. Quite a lot happened all over the weekend. Like Mary mentioned, it was the Merseyside derby, and it was Liverpool up against Everton. Liverpool fighting to keep in touch with Manchester City and Everton. Frank Lampard, just a few minutes before that game started, Everton had slipped into relegation zone due to Burnley defeating Wolves by a lone goal. And so it was a relegation contender up against Liverpool, who, of course, were championship contenders, and it had all that you expect from a Merseyside derby. 92nd, it was in injury time, that winner from Captain America, as he is fondly called by the Chelsea faithful, and, of course, Chelsea got that 1-0 win up against West Ham. And so for the EPL, it's a race for the top spot. Manchester City and Liverpool, of course, just 1 point separating them in the bottom. Now, that is where the battle is happening. Everton, of course, there's Burnley, there's Watford and Norwich, who, of course, look like they have been already relegated. Can Frank Lampard do this? Now, if he gets relegated, that would do a whole lot of damage to his career. But then Liverpool, of course, after keeping up to pace with Manchester City, they will be at the Champions League. But then all the results that took place in the EPL, of course, we've told you about Chelsea and Liverpool. I've also mentioned about Burnley defeating Wolves by a lone goal. It was James Ward-Prowse with 2 goals as Brighton and Southampton played up 2-2 draw, quite an interesting one there. A free kick from James Ward-Prowse there was quite an interesting one. But this was Burnley up against Wolves. And Wolves, at this particular point, seem like they've given up on the season. Now, this is what happens. A number of teams who don't have anything that they are really fighting for would seem as though they have given up. But Burnley had something to fight for, and that fight is reaping dividends. Over this coming week tomorrow, it's the Champions League. Of course, Champions League will resume. Manchester City will be up against Real Madrid, while Liverpool will be up against Villarreal. Now, that is England versus Spain on bootlegs. Let us see who comes out on top. That's it on the Big Game, the review show. My name is Mike Mesikeno. We'll take this recess and return with the show at the top of the hour.
Yes, indeed. It is the top of the hour for a Monday morning here for 8 a.m. Yeah, you better be used to us by now, because we're here to stay, not going anywhere. You don't have any plans of going anywhere, do you? Anytime soon?
Why?
Just checking, because we will miss you if you do that. Don't do it. Everybody was here. Is
that from the bottom of your heart?
It is from the bottom, not the bottom. Welcome, second hour here. We've got 45 minutes left to go on the show for your #1 breakfast show on Nigerian television and indeed the rest of the world.
Yes, it is always a magical, memorable Monday experience right here, as always. Now, of course, we're buzzing with the right kind of vibes and energy. I wanted to turn into rap. I just hope you're ready for what we have in store for you this hour.
Oh, you better, because Chef Debbie Scott in the kitchen, looking all fantastic herself, and the meal is going to be, I can tell, scrumptious.
I was beginning to wonder who is the meal.
What?
The way you kept describing.
I don't know.
Chef Debbie Scott, you look
meal
amazing.
herself.
And the food, I can't wait for it to get ready. Like, if you see the chicken, it looks succulent.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Anyhow, hope we've been able to motivate you, to grab that week by the horns.
Yeah.
You know what they say about the bull. Now, there's no dulling around here. Let's get right to it, okay?
Yes, my name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. Remember, you can use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian television.
Indeed. Now, remember, you can also watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world. And that's through our mobile app that you can download from the Google Play Store or iOS, okay?
Yes, indeed. And follow us. Every platform, we are at TVC Connect. It's that simple. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, where we are live
everywhere
right now.
you are.
Now, let's check out the lineup for the next 45 minutes and for your weekly dose of what went down on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah.
We review the weekend edition. Stay tuned for that one, guys. My Home Culture is a quality-driven home interior and accessories company that specializes in the sale of ultrasonic humidifiers, air purifiers, diffusers, essential oils, scented candles, and home decor accessories. Now, My Home Culture will always insist on continuous innovation, so they will be here to talk about their SME involvement or endeavors so far. And that's talking about Anita Oyewumi. Okay.
Many people don't realize that SME, people used to reach out to them.
Yeah,
I know someone that posted on our post, I think that was 2 weeks ago, asking for the contact details of the SME guy.
You were going to say something?
Yeah, no, I did mention something over the weekend, which I mentioned during a big game, was the match between Tyson Fury and Dillian White.
Oh, that's...
there's something about Tyson Fury, he's gracious.
How so?
Dillian White was not, like, he could have taken out that guy in round 1.
Yeah.
But he wanted to make something big out of it. So he goes like, this is in Wembley, 90,000 people. He goes like, oh, Dillian White is a beast. Dillian White is good. This might... But I tell you, he could have taken out Dillian White in round 1. So he goes on just time with him and they get up to round 6 and one uppercut.
That was it.
Baba's leg was just doing
Sandalili.
No,
but even from round 1, you could tell that he was playing the guy.
And then the match ends and then he goes over and he goes to hug him.
Yeah,
and
he does that a lot.
It made me think of Anthony Joshua. A lot of people were feeling that this should have been the fight. If Anthony Joshua had stepped up, if Anthony Joshua had kept, everybody goes up and many people agree that, look, hey, he's too... Look, you are in combat sports. You cannot be nine.
You can't be Looney Tunes.
You can't be...
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Is this not his retirement fight?
He said so.
Yeah.
But you see the funny thing? He called out the Cameroonian UFC heavyweight champion, Francis Ngannou, who's also Cameroonian. And he said, look, hey, come on, man, let's have a fight.
What is wrong with that guy? Anthony Joshua's prayers were answered when he said he was going on retirement. Now he wants to still bust the guy's face.
It's about Fury, yeah? He is that nice guy. But even with being a nice guy, look, he tells you you're a nice guy. Look, you're one of the best, but look, I will beat you so bad. So he has that nice guy, but I'll beat you up, Phil. Tyson Fury, now he says that he's the best ever boxing heavyweight champion, and a number of people are forced to agree.
I guess if you paid that much to be at the Wembley Stadium, then he had to give you guys a show.
He had to give you a show, yes.
6 rounds are okay. I'm not just going to let you guys take one round.
But really, would you like to still see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua? If you village people come after me, I would just come after you.
I definitely would. Oh, let me...
I am worried for Joshua. Joshua is a fine boy. Do you want to see him with scars on his face?
While you pugilists are going on about this fight, I wanted to remind everybody out there that this is the final week just before our cookout.
Oh, definitely.
So the cookout is this weekend on Saturday. It's going to be a big deal. No Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua here. We're going to be cooking instead. And you guys are going to be a part of it because we're going to be expecting you guys, well, a few of you guys to come on in and cheer the contestants on, 5 contestants, home cooks, who will be vying for first place like we did the last time. You're going home with 100,000 naira and also some home appliances. We've picked our cooks already, so it's already too late if you're trying to get in on the action.
Just wait for the next edition.
So wait for the next edition, which will be next month. And you guys, don't you worry, we'll let you guys know the details on that one. But this weekend, it's going down.
Yeah,
and it's
Saturday,
not a boxing match.
It's going to be by 9 a.m. It's going to be by 9 a.m. So if you don't have food Okay, no, you might have food, but just come on Saturday morning, 9 a.m., TVC grounds, 9 a.m. Saturday morning, and let's just have fun, basically. Yeah, Mary and Mazino will be handling this. I'll be behind the scenes.
What do you mean?
I don't understand.
See, I'll be making sure that
if you know you want to come, you better notify us. Because I think at this point it might become strictly by invitation.
No, don't worry.
We are
Come on.
Just come, Daddy.
Women, men, children, animals, even. Let's do a break. We'll be back.
Well, good to see you again. This is the news on Wake Up Nigeria with Kelly Egiga. Let's tell you that President Muhammadu Buhari has called for the arrest of sponsors of the legal refinery which led to the death of over 100 persons at Abaizi Forest in Egbema area on Friday night, describing the incident as a catastrophe and a national disaster. President Buhari directed the nation's security and intelligence agencies to intensify the clampdown on illegal refineries, and those involved in the act must be made to face justice. Now, according to statements issued on Sunday by the presidential spokesperson Garba Shehu, the president said the responsibility for the loss of lives and property lies squarely on the sponsors of the legal refinery. He commiserated with families of the victims and the Ohaji Egbema community and the government and people of Imo State. The president also urged community leaders, the police and the Secret Service to never allow the reoccurrence of such heartbreaking incident in any part of the country. Away from security stories, the Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project SERAP has sued President Muhammadu Buhari over the failure to order the unblocking of millions of telecommunications subscribers barred from making calls on their SIMs. This is coming 2 weeks after the group issued a 48-hour deadline to the federal government to unblock millions of unregistered lines that have been barred from making calls across the country. The suit, SERAP, sought an order to set aside the directive by Mr. President to telecommunications companies to block outgoing calls on all unlinked lines without due process of law. The SERAP also joined the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, and his communications and digital economy counterpart, Dr. Issa Pantami, as respondent in the suit. On the international scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has defeated his far-right rival, Marine Le Pen, by a comfortable margin in Sunday's runoff election, securing a second term. Now, according to estimates from the polling institute, 44-year-old Emmanuel Macron won by 58.8% of the votes in the second round of the presidential elections, against 41.2% for Le Pen. The elections that saw the country's highest abstention rate in 50 years has now prompted a wave of relief in Europe that the far right has been prevented from taking power. Emmanuel Macron now becomes the 8th French incumbent to win a second term.
And of course, you're welcome to yet another segment where we review that all-knowing show called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The Reaper. Why are you laughing, Mary? What was that?
I did not laugh. I was just saying to myself, hey, will I know the answer to this one? I didn't laugh.
In any case, we know that there's a lot of people who are following this show, and we always like to bring a preview, or rather review to it every single Monday here for the weekend edition, and today is no different. So let's already get with some of the highlights, and when we come back, we'll be telling you guys how we wish we were in the hot seat. Perhaps maybe we could have gone home with at least. So
that's all I've been hearing you say. But let's just watch it already.
Let's check this out.
Question number.
Everybody is in a state of utter shock.
No, but it's not everybody.
Because first of all, this guy looked like as if he could take on all the answers, all the questions up until the top.
A question will just come up next now that you don't know, and he'll just pick it up. That's the thing about this is something like you feel like for us older people will know it, because that term was used a bit more. Now nowadays you don't hear it so much.
I want to disagree with you.
Do you understand? So, but I would love to see how he had performed earlier.
I want to disagree with you because he's from last week, yeah. And the show closed on him, so he has to return for this week. But when you say the word jalopy, first off, jalopy spelled the same way it's pronounced. Well, whether jalopy or jalopy. It's the same thing. It doesn't sound too different. Everybody uses the word jalopy. Come out your jalopy for road job. I don't know. If this guy was born anytime from after 2000, 2005, then I can understand why it is something that he wouldn't be used to.
It's quite possible because jalopy, in fact, when he said jalopy, You remember what I said? I said, oh, so that's the correct pronunciation. Like, the moment I
understand, because you and him are born in the same generation as well, so I understand where you don't get it.
Okay, so yeah,
don't get violent.
You know, the thing that if I was to insult a car, which I do almost all the time on the road and all of that, I wouldn't say jalopy. You know, I would.
No, you see, there are many jalopis on the road. Okay, now I'm trying to use the word.
Correctly.
Jalopy.
Yes.
Jalopy.
But I get where you're coming from. The guy was wearing glasses like Mazino. So
he looked like a nerd. I thought he was going to get it.
People that wear glasses have sense. Not people that wear glasses that have sense.
This was not an educational question. No. It was a slang question.
No, it's not slang.
It is.
Jalopy is
Take your jalopy out of the road.
So you know what?
It was not his generation's language.
It is not.
It was not his generation's language. You guys stop putting pressure on him.
Just like when you hear andele. And you think it's slang. No, it's Portuguese. It's Portuguese. You understand? Fast move. You understand? Andele. So most of these words, you know that this is the reason why English is about the hardest language to learn.
Yeah.
Very simple. When you want to study it, its roots, syntax, and all that, they borrowed from too many. That's why you hear a German speaker and you can pick up some words. Because a German, you understand? You hear a French speak. And you can pick up some words. You hear Italian speak, and you can pick up some words. Because English was borrowed from all of them. When you say rendezvous,
I think the best is even pidgin, because pidgin is also
and that is why.
Portuguese.
So because of there is no, it's hard to pick because
I totally agree
so
with you.
much.
But here's the thing, I'm wondering that people who get up on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, are these people well researched, first of all, before we're bringing them on? The reason why I'm asking is I want a good show. I want somebody who's intelligent, who doesn't use his 2 lifelines or 3 lifelines at 50,000.
I've told you before. I've told you guys before. It's a simple thing. No matter how intelligent you are, the moment you sit on a hot seat, your intelligence flies out the window. I'm telling you, if you are not a confident person, it will fly out. I have asked people the most ridiculous questions.
Ask me anything. Ask me anything. Right now.
I should ask you. Okay, what's the capital of Sokoto?
Sokoto.
Let me say something.
It is now, isn't it?
There's something you said.
Is it not Sokoto?
It is, but the way you looked at me like very sure.
Let me see. There's something you mentioned, which I have to mention. Jeremy Clarkson, he was doing so. Someone came up and said, look, I knew I was coming up. I did research on Oscars, I did research on this, and the guy was just dropping it like that. That's what you do.
That's what you do.
Dropping like it's like we're dropping this break now.
Tell you what, because I'm still going to tackle Mrs. Jalopi here on that later.
Mr. Jalopi?
But we have a performer who's been standing in the wings for a while now. Let's talk to a performer. And, of course, first of all, and you're welcome back for our final segment here, and that's the SME segment. And today we have with us My Home Culture. It's a quality-driven home interior and accessories company that specializes in sales of ultrasonic humidifiers, air purifiers, diffusers, essential oils, scented candles as well, and I do love them, and decor accessories. Now, they always insist on continuous innovation and bring unique and fashionable devices to consumers. And we're joined today by Anita Oyewumi on our SME segment. You are welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. You look
it's
so
a pleasure.
homely and welcoming. I don't know, there's just something about your aura. I really like it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So, tell us about My Home accessories.
My Home Culture.
My Home Culture, rather.
Yeah, My Home Culture is a lifestyle and home decor.
So you guys provide for homes, decorations, and things to make
do.
the ambience and everywhere. What's the word now? Pleasing.
Pleasant. Yeah, pleasing. Okay. That's just the right word. Oh. So we are mostly focused on humidifiers and diffusers.
Okay.
Yeah, and the essentials of humidifiers, it adds humidity to the environment. It increases humidity, make the atmosphere moist and conducive for kids. Okay. Yeah, and for adults too. It helps people with skin issues, like dried skin, dried lips, and then it also helps babies sleep better.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
It does.
All right. So how did you identify this segment of the market as something that you want to endeavor in? When and why?
Okay, so it started during the COVID.
Oh, the lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody got an idea or two during the lockdown. Right? I had a couple.
So I've always had this humidifier at home, but I was not able to exploit. But then we had everybody had flu at that time, and then kept turning it on, and surprisingly it was helping with the flu, you know, easing out. And God, it's amazing during the Hamilton season.
Oh, I can imagine.
You know how we all have cracked skin, you know, flaky legs and all that? With a humidifier in your space, you won't have that. Like, surprisingly enough, you won't have that.
Okay.
You would, like, be your everyday self.
Yeah, I can imagine. So my next question now is based on how you had to get people to accept or convince people that this is the right appliance for your home. We've got one of them right here with us, and I don't know if anybody can see it. It's a very small device, it's just like a regular little plastic vase, or I don't know what you call it. But it's also, it charges, and you can just simply, that's the button there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see all of that smoke coming out. I don't know if the camera can actually catch that. Can you see that? Yes, they can. Beautiful. So that's what it does, and it sometimes scents the air as well if you put in flavors and stuff.
It does, and it's also an air purifier.
Air purifier.
Yes, it helps, you know, kill germs in the air and all that.
So how did you convince the average Nigerian who maybe doesn't really see the necessity of this, that he can or he should own this?
I'm more of a practical seller. I don't just sell products for the sake of selling an item. I show you the value that product has to, the impact it would have in your life, in your space, wherever you want to make use of it, wherever you want to apply it. So this device, I personally use, like I said, during the COVID era, it helped with flu in my home, and then it worked perfectly. I was like, okay, why not? Why can't every other person have access to this? You know, Nigerian community, everybody is not used to, except you've like traveled out and all that.
All right, well, fantastic. Yeah. So let's talk about the business angle now. It is a way to make income for you. You're making profit from them.
Yes.
And people are out there who perhaps haven't been able to identify little spaces in lifestyle that they could plug into. You've identified one and you've plugged in nicely to it. Were there any challenges while you were trying to bring up this business or push it through? What were the challenges you faced? Maybe with imports or selling or marketing it?
Well, God has been faithful, that is what I would say, because surprisingly enough, there was no challenge. When I introduced this to the market, it was more like people have been looking for this.
Exactly. Well, that's because you perhaps picked the right commodity.
Exactly.
There was a space and people didn't have it before, and then you provided
that.
So to the person who's out there who's perhaps looking for an unsaturated part of the market to endeavor in, how would you advise that they find this niche?
Okay, I would always tell people, always be a solution wherever you find yourself. Be a solution. Don't just follow the normal market trend. Try to be different. Don't go for the money. Just go for the value you can offer with whatever it is you have.
Okay.
Yes, that is.
Okay, and now you've been running for about 2 years since after the lockdown.
2 years, yes.
And you've broken even, and then you've also surpassed it as well.
I have.
Would you say that you can live on this alone?
Yes. Certainly,
Did you guys hear that?
Certainly.
She sells humidifiers and home decor and stuff, and she says you can actually live on it. That's what people want to hear.
Yes, you
Continue.
can.
Yes. So it's an easy sell. Is that what it is?
It's an easy sell. A lot of people have not heard about this device, but you'll be amazed the number of people that already know about it and its importance. It's not about just having a device that could like leave your house well scented and everything. It's about the health benefit attached to it. Yeah. Like for people snoring, you know, it helps reduce their snoring. You know, snoring has to do with dryness of the throat, you know, and all the...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so this increases moisture in the air, which then takes it down like, through your nasal cavity, like, and then moisture.
If I'm out there and I'm learning from anything that you've said that first off that you identified a niche in the market, a space, a gap, and then you feel that you provided a commodity that people would want, and it's an easy sell.
Yes.
You also don't have to do much because people have been looking for it.
Yeah.
Now, if not humidifiers, what would you advise anybody out there who's looking for something that they could sell? Perhaps maybe their penchant is actually convincing people to buy stuff. What other open segments of the market or lifestyle do you think they can plug these talents to?
It's limitless.
It's limitless, isn't it? Give me one now.
It's limitless. So a lot of people do kitchen. A lot of people do flowers. You know, flowers is versatile. It could be for events. It could be for your home office, whatever it is. It could be live plants, you know, artificial plants, and it sells really good. Lightnings. Yeah, a lot of them.
So, what about, let's talk about quality control now and how you handle feedback from people.
Yeah.
Have you gotten negative feedback from your products? Be honest now.
Yeah, actually, it was, I'll call it a false feedback.
Okay.
You know, because, okay, so there's this client of mine. She got the humidifier, but she used a wrong oil.
Oh, you have special oils?
Yeah, you have special oil for this. You use a fragrance oil or an essential oil. This is one of them.
Okay.
This is an essential. This is what it looks like.
Nice.
So it's either you use this or you use the fragrance oil or air
So she didn't use it correctly?
Yes. No. She used something else entirely.
Incorrectly, yeah.
Yes, and it kind of spoiled her device.
Damaged
and then she came like, oh, this, da. It's okay.
So how do you handle that kind of feedback? What do you do?
So I offer services and repairs.
Oh, nice.
To my clients. I don't just leave them
Fantastic.
to their face.
So with your business, you also have services that actually cater to the device that you're selling.
Yes.
So they know where to go to in case they have any need to
They actually
repair.
come to me because a lot of people don't know how to fix this stuff. So I learned it.
Okay.
So they come to me to fix their devices and.
So you're a one-man business type thing, are you?
Yeah.
I mean, you sell it, you market it, you repair it. You've got it all covered.
Yes.
That is fantastic. Now, I also hear that you're giving away some of these devices on our show.
Oh, yes.
As we look forward to the Wake Up Nigeria cookout.
Yes.
Now, what Anita has promised to do is that she's going to be giving out 2 of these humidifiers to our viewers in anticipation of the Wake Up Nigeria cookout. Throughout the week, what we're going to try and do is ask you specific questions regarding the cookout. And if you get them correctly, 1 or 2 of you will actually be leaving or going home with some of these devices, courtesy of Anita here.
My home culture.
My home culture, yes, of which Anita is representing. Thank you very much, Anita.
You're welcome.
We had a very interesting conversation with you here, and we want to reward you before you leave.
Oh, great.
Yes, indeed. We've got a very interesting meal in the kitchen here, and we'd like you to come over.
All right.
Yes, please do. Thank you very much. And, of course, Mary's going to take good care of you there. Mary,
That's right.
please.
Please sit, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, please sit. I'll help you with that.
Okay.
Welcome to the kitchen, Anita.
Thank you. This is kind of tight.
It's okay now?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Is it better?
Yes.
All right, then. Okay, so you're welcome to the kitchen, Anita. Today's chef is Chef Debbie Scott, and she's made us breakfast. So we'd like you to dig in. It's called Cameroonian poulet DG. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's chicken in it. Tell us about what's in it.
There's plantain, there's chicken, there's red peppers, carrot.
Okay, can I go ahead?
Yes, please. Yes, we need to know what you make of it.
I like you.
You like it, huh?
It tastes homely.
Very homely, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's actually a traditional Cameroonian dish, served at special occasions. Yeah. Do you like it?
I do.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mike and Mazino, how you guys doing?
Well, we are doing great. We've come to the end of the show. I want to say thank you to everybody who's viewed so far, and we'll catch you guys on tomorrow's edition.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
That's right. Enjoy your day. Tomorrow bright and early. Bye-bye.